This is the Salamander and welcome to my in-depth analysis of the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue E3 2016 trailer. So let's get started, shall we? We start off by seeing Dream drop distance, but let's be honest, who really cares about this? Now this is what I really came for. It's Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. The very first image we see is a royal palace, based in the world known as the Castle of Dreams, which we all know is the world in which Cinderella resides, all in the latest Kingdom Hearts shaded graphics, all of which we know is exactly where Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep leaves off at. One of our three Birth by Sleep protagonists returns. We finally see Aqua, her whole back, in this Kingdom Hearts shaded graphics. And we see her looking intensely at the Castle of Dreams, but we do know that she is residing within the realm of darkness, but we still do not know why the Castle of Dreams world is within this reality and what she plans to do during this section of the game.
The road collapsed when the clock advanced. If only I made it in time.
So in this section, Aqua says, the road collapsed when the clock advanced. Once the clock passed her midnight, that is when chaos stirred, which of course relates back to Disney's Cinderella movie, where a magic spell caused Cinderella to become a princess, but only until midnight. Once the clock hits midnight, the illusion will pass and her original state will be back. Hence, the clock and the world going all crazy represents that factor from the movie. Now, in this case, the bridge was fine, but the moment the clock went past 12, the bridge collapsed, and showing that the perfect world is no more, blocking Aqua's path to reaching her destination. Oh my god. We have actual gameplay. Look at it. Look at the beauty, the particle effects. The road is all mumble jumbled. It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey shit going on here. Oh man, let's take a moment to admire it. We finally got 0.2 gameplay right here. Can't wait to play this shit.
Not even memories are safe from the darkness.
So first of all, let me just say this. Remember the line that Aqua just said, not even memories are safe from the darkness. This is going to come in handy later on in the trailer. If you look off into the distance, you will see the royal palace. There are multiple things to take from this screen. If you look to the left, you'll see a lock-on target onto that lamppost, and this will indicate one thing: flow motion. Aqua could use that to initiate a flow motion technique, whether it to be attack or to just maneuver. If you look to the right, to the distance, you'll see a bluish type of object. As you can see, the whole world is distorted by darkness, and as you can see, it's like the world is being consumed by the darkness itself. More world interaction, where we see Aqua sliding down a hill just like how Sora was sliding down a river in the previous trailers. We also get our first look at the combat menu for 0.2, and as we can see, it has the traditional Kingdom Hearts type of combat system: attack, magic, and items. Nothing else is shown here, so it seems that they've completely got rid of the command deck system from Birth by Sleep. In this screen, we also get to see the bridge in which Aqua tries to cross before it collapses, and in this screen, we also see that it is completely intact, which indicates that it was before the events occurred. Right here we see Aqua jumping from a rooftop in a town which we also presume is from the Castle of Dreams worlds. We also get a quick glimpse of the iconic Aqua dodge where she does like a little side flip return. We also see a little change in the animation where once Aqua jumps from a high angle, the animation ends with a somersault in order to land safely, which is a nice change of pace and indeed makes the animation a lot more smoother and more realistic. Now in this shot we see Aqua just whip out the Master's Defender, which we all know is the Keyblade that belonged to Master Ericus. Now, what really puzzled me is the fact that the camera zoomed in when Aqua whipped out that Keyblade. I mean, is this going to be a feature that's going to be implemented in Kingdom Hearts whenever you whip out a Keyblade? Is it going to be just for this certain section to zoom in on a certain aspect of what's happening on screen? Or is it just to make the trailer more cool? It's just, I don't really understand what's happening right here. One thing you might not notice is a subtle change with the command menu. We get to see that it was previously blue, now it's changed to orange, maybe to simulate the fact that it's going into combat mode. On the bottom right side, I forgot to mention, was the HUD. We get to see the focus bar, we get to see the health bar, and also the mana bar, MP bar. But the most important factor is if you look at the top right, you see a gears icon, and it says 1 out of 5 gears found. This is probably the premise of the whole demo of 0.2, the whole premise of the game, which is to collect all 5 gears, which is presumably to fix the clock, in order to make it turn back the clock, in order to restore the bridge to its original state. a double jump mechanic. We finally see a new enemy within the Kingdom Hearts franchise. We see a new Heartless with flames on top of its head, and one thing to note is that this Heartless is a purebred. It lives and dwells within the darkness itself, and is similar to the Heartless we see in Birth by Sleep that was also a purebred Heartless. Now look at the bottom left hand screen, we see Faraga, Blizzaga, Thunderga and Kiraga. These are the 4 confirmed spells that are going to be available in the game. Now we also see a little slot where the spells are. This indicates that there will be different pages which can be allocated by the player to toggle through and give us the option to configure more spells or scroll through different menus. Blizzaga looks absolutely stunning in this game. It seems as though mechanics from Birth by Sleep are indeed returning, because as you can see, if you look at the bottom left, you see a pop-up saying Spellweaver that has appeared, and it seems that it has a countdown of 30 seconds to initiate it. And my theory is that once a spell has been conducted, the player will have a certain amount of time to initiate a special move by pressing triangle. Although in Birth by Sleep, the method in order to initiate a spell like Spellweaver was to have it within the command menu. It seems as though spells are the trigger in order to activate these special moves. So it looks like Square Enix are giving us a little level of customization. So depending on the spells we pick, it will give us access to different types of special moves. Another glimpse of a brand new Heartless within Kingdom Hearts 0.2. We see Thunderga in action, and I swear the visuals never cease to amaze me. We see the Shadow Swarm return from the first Kingdom Hearts trailer, and it's good to see that wasn't just a gimmick and is an actual enemy within the game. One thing to take note is if you look to the right, you'll see a shadow with yellow eyes. This is the shadow that we have come to know. But once you look at the swarm shadows, you can see they have orange eyes, showing that they are coordinating with each other, pointing towards the fact that someone is actually controlling them for reasons unknown. As Heartless are known to be creatures of instinct, they do not work or coordinate with each other. They base their actions solely on instinct to destroy the light. But by looking at previous Kingdom Hearts trailers, we've seen Heartless combine and coordinate with each other countless times, so something is definitely going on. Note that the Heartless Swarm is referred to as one enemy as indicated by the health bar. We can see Aqua using Barrier. It seems when Aqua used Barrier, all the Heartless Swarm disassembled. As you can see, they have also reverted back to having yellow eyes, showing that they are not coordinated anymore. And as you can see by the lock-on icon, it seems each Heartless is now lockable. So in order to shorten the size of the Heartless Swarm by killing each individual shadow. We get quite a good view of Aqua in combat as we get to see her pulling off the Spellweaver.
To spend one more night beneath the stars with my best friends.
Best friends, of course, referring to Terra and Ven.
I'm doing it again.
This implying that she's been in the realm of darkness for who knows how long, reminiscing about the old times, thinking of a way to get out and rejoin her friends.
Aqua.
Now this is what took everybody in the Kingdom Hearts community by surprise. What is Terra doing here in the realm of darkness? But, sad to say, I really highly doubt that is the real Terra. Most likely is an illusion. Remember that line I told you to keep in mind in the beginning of the trailer? Even memories are not safe from the darkness. This is an indication that the darkness is deceiving Aqua, taking her back to places that were within her memory, hence being in the world of dreams. Terra meeting Aqua is an illusion created by the realm of darkness to possibly pull her deeper into the darkness itself by using her memories of her old friends and using it as her weak point. Now we get to Kingdom Hearts X back cover, the movie that is based on the mobile game Kingdom Hearts Unchained X. As we know, this movie is going to be based in Daybreak Town, the area in which Kingdom Hearts Unchained X takes place. The very first character we see is someone in the organization 13's cloak. There's deep mystery surrounding this character.
This world is full of light.
What? Did you expect the traitor to give themselves up with that accusation of yours?
Here we get a very good look at the foretellers. Over at the back we have Gula, the one on the left is Ava, and the one that's questioning the accusation is Acid. And over here we have Envy in the back and Ira on the right.
That was foolish.
I said, that's quite enough.
In this scene we have Envy scolding Acid for going too far, with Ava sighing in the background as though they are used to this kind of behavior from him.
Hey, maybe talking about the book will cheer you up.
Not a chance.
Here we are introduced to a brand new character, and although he has been introduced in the Japanese version of Unchained X, he has yet to be introduced to us for the English version. We see him discussing the Book of Prophecies with Ava as though Ava is his personal friend, and we see that they are closely attached to one another, although his intentions are clearly unknown. This also displays how Ava is quite privy with the information she has about the Book of Prophecies, meaning that no one but the foretellers can know of this knowledge. In the scene, we also get a good look at the fountain, which is placed in the center of Daybreak Town in the hub world of Kingdom Hearts Unchained X in stunning Kingdom Hearts shaded graphics.
Darkness will prevail, and the light expire.
This straight up just looks like it's from a Disney movie, from the details that's within the organization cloak, from the details on the flowers on the ground. Everything about the scene just looks absolutely gorgeous. Darkness will prevail and the light expire. This is the only link we have to young Xehanort. As if you remember in the last trailer, this line is exactly what Kid Xehanort had said, and this is the only link we have between the two characters, as it is very unlikely that this new character is in fact Xehanort, not only because his voice is different, but it is almost impossible for the two to have been in contact unless this new character survived the Keyblade War and managed to gain in contact with Xehanort. Something Xehanort did allowed him to not only possess the knowledge this new character has, but also allowed him to inherit the ability to wield the most ancient Keyblade, the Keyblade that the Xehanort of today is currently wielding. I think the only way to understand who this character truly is the moment he wields his Keyblade or reveals his face. Those are the two only features that could possibly reveal who he truly is. For he could not only be the Sixth Apprentice, but he could also be the Master of Masters for all we know.
Each of our copies were said to contain the events of the future. But this incident, well, it's nowhere to be found.
This is of course referring to the missing page from the Book of Prophecies.
You can barely stay on your feet! Just give up already!
We see Acid and Gula engaging in conflict, but we do not yet know the reason to how this aspired. As we see Acid in a weakened state, struggling to move forward, while Gula is backing away but in a defense-ready position, as if he is afraid of Acid. But we do not yet know why he is afraid, as we don't know who the true traitor is amongst them.
Why? Why did it have to come to this?
In the scene, we see Ava rushing to stop what she knows is happening, and that is the foretellers battling amongst themselves. But obviously, we see in the scene that she is far too late, as we see Gula lying on the floor with his Keyblade disappeared, presumably dead, with Ace in the background holding his giant Keyblade in the murderous act itself. Guess you could say that his death was one of the factors that initiated the Keyblade War, as his faction probably would want revenge for the death of their master.
Isn't it our duty as Keyblade wielders to prevent this war from taking place?
Not possible.
In this scene, we see Ira talking to the mysterious character and asking if it's even possible to stop the war from happening, as if he is asking for his help, his aid. But note that the fact that he says our duty. Does this mean that the mysterious member is indeed the sixth foreteller? He said our duty as though it is our duty as the six foretellers to protect this world from darkness. Keep in mind how the mysterious man reacted. He claims for the war to be inevitable, which is the same train of thought that Kid Xehanort had. He believes that the war is inevitable, that darkness will prevail and the light will expire, and that there is no alternative. This is the exact same mindset as Kid Xehanort. The way he also proves that he believes that the war is inevitable also shares the trail of being able to see in the future. Like, he is so convinced that the war is inevitable, as though he has seen the future himself, which also points to the fact that he may also be the Master of Masters.
We need to defy the Master's teachings to protect the world.
You're saying he was wrong?
Now we have a clash between the foretellers, Envy and Acid, although why they are fighting is unknown. However, we do see that Acid thinks that it is time to disobey their master's teachings in order to save the world. So what could he possibly mean by that? Is it like maybe do a forbidden act which was forbidden by the Master of Masters in order to presumably save the world? So even though he thinks what he's doing is right, it's clear that other foretellers object that it goes beyond their teachings, which presumably makes him the traitor, although he is doing it for the good of the world. However, because the foretellers like Envy are resisting his methods, the only way Acid could make his plans go through is by defeating the foretellers in order to make them get out of his way, as he believes the Master of Masters was absolutely wrong in his teachings and he needs to take matters into his own hands. And do you guys remember the scene with Gula and Acid where Acid was barely able to stand while Gula was backing away? This is most likely after the clash with Envy and Acid, because he is in a weakened state and there's no way he will be in that state unless it was after a fight, and the only fight we've currently seen him with is with Envy. Now in this scene we see Ava rushing to find someone, presumably the Fortalists, with Chirruphy, and most likely the news she brings will be bad, something about the world in trouble. This will probably lead Acid to his drastic measures, and as we can see, the times in which Ava is looking for someone is drastically different from when Acid, Envy and Gula were fighting. So this is most likely before the events occurred, indicating that the news that she brings to the other foretellers is what brought them to disarray.
When the time comes, and there is war, you mustn't fight, but instead you must fly away from here to the world outside.
Hey, the Unchained X children with really bland looking faces and most boring expressions in the whole movie. At least we got a twin in the back. We can see that some foretellers who actually show their teeth properly, Ava, actually bear fangs, where I said actually have teeth as rough as a bear's.
When the time comes, and there is war, you mustn't fight, but instead you must fly away from here to the world outside.
This line which Ava just mentioned just relates to the story which Kyrie's grandmother told us in Kingdom Hearts 1, where small fragments of light survived in the hearts of children, and these Unchained X children that were part of Ava's faction could be the lights that survived, because she is the only one that does not wish to partake in the war, so she must have used this opportunity to send her faction out within the world to survive the Keyblade War and to eventually rebuild the world after it was consumed by darkness. Square Enix has finally realized they have fans all over the world with a December worldwide release. They know exactly what we want, but give us utter disappointment.